Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Exciting times. I know it's also a nerve-wracking time, but super exciting because this time period, July to August, September, October, and so on, is just filled with promise and hope because all your efforts culminating in an interview or a bench invitation or an acceptance happens now. So I hope as much as anxiety inducing it is, you guys also realize that this is the moment that you've been waiting for and do not lose on hope. A lot of people text us asking, Flynn, is it time to move on? Is it time to lose hope? Are the schools done? The answer is no. A lot of schools are still sending out invitations. Some of them they are sending it over a period of time. There are so many waiting lists to be cleared out. So hold on tight and be reasonable in your expectation. And how do you do that? You prepare for your interviews, prepare for your bench tests, and build your profile while not losing your hope. Anyway, so speaking of CAPID interviews, a shift that we've seen in the last couple of years is how schools have been more and more comfortable with KIRA interviews. I still remember back in the days when maybe one or two schools had KIRA and it was still an evolving concept, but now so many schools have adopted this, and which is why I think we hear a lot of these questions about how to prepare for a KIRA. So I thought it would be nice to come and have a refresher video to talk about this. There are two aspects to KIRA, of course, just like any other interview, which is how to prepare and how to answer. So I'll first go through how to prepare. The most important thing is to approach this KIRA interview just like any other interview, right? So when you prep for a conversational interview, the same sort of framework you can apply to this one as well. Identify what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are and play accordingly. Maybe you're someone who's very aware of your stories, who's aware of your life instances and examples and experiences, and you can charm someone through your conversation. But maybe you need to be prepared how to limit your words, and that is something that you need to take care. And I should know because I've been recording this video for, I think this is my fourth take, just because I've been speaking over time. So that is something you need to train yourself on, because more than anything, the major difference between a conversational interview and a KIRA interview is that this is definitely time bound. So identify what your weakness is. Do you find it harder to speak within a time frame? Do you find it harder to recall your life instances? So identify that and then prepare accordingly. More importantly, just like any other conversational interview, even for KIRA, do not practice your answers word by word, because in KIRA you're already speaking to a camera, right? Or without a person on the other side. So you're going to feel extremely you yourself will feel a little rehearsed, staged, as if this is a very a monologue, one-sided conversation, which it is. So you need to sort of prepare yourself to be more natural by not preparing your answers word by word. So that's the first aspect. The second aspect is about what to answer, right? So what you need to remember is that for KIRA, just like any other interview, like I said earlier, you have to present a very clear answer, right? So I'll take an example. If the question goes like this, have you ever had an experience of having to resolve a conflict while working in a team? Now, these kind of questions have been very commonly seen in these KIRA interviews this cycle as well, especially in schools like New York University. So when you answer this question, what you have to remember is once you finish your answer, the listener should understand what you were talking about, right? Especially when you have such little time, you should not be beating around the bush and sort of losing track of what your actual story or example is. So it should not be like a parable after which the moral is not clear, because then that's a very ineffectual attempt. I recently watched this old Indian movie from the South named Indian. The movie is also called Indian. And in this movie, there's a character who keeps answering to people's questions in pointers. Like the answer would go A, blah, 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 and then B, blah, blah, blah. So as I watched the movie repeatedly, this came up, and I was thinking about how annoying this might be for you to, hear a person speak like this. But also the other aspect or the other side is that it's a very clear way to answer, because the listener is able to listen retain and analyze the information that you have given them. So of course, my the moral here is not that you answer every question as A, B, and C with the alphabets in front of it, but the moral here is that you answer them as different sentences, as different points, giving them that clarity as to what you're talking about. So for example, in this question, your answer should A be whether you have, like a yes or no, have you or have you not faced a conflict. So yes or no would be your first, for example, the A. B should be what was the conflict, right? Spell out the conflict for them in a statement or two. Number three, you can talk about the stakeholders in the conflict. Who are the people involved? Who are the characters involved in this plot? And number four, or that would be D, can be what did you do to resolve this conflict, because that is the crux of the question. So what did you do, and try to be very specific as you can, which is the technique or the tool that you used, or what did you tell these people to resolve the conflict. And the last point would of course be the conclusion. Was it completely effective, was it partially effective, or did it not work at all? But mostly it would have worked, because that's the kind of answer you would give. So this is how you wrap up the answer. And a last tip to give you all here is make sure that you're prepared to think through that 40 to 60 seconds that you get to prepare for the answer, because you'll get that small 50 or 60 seconds to gather your thoughts. So you need to be prepared. Practice to be able to completely clear your mind, focus on the question, and think about these points, and then start speaking clearly. I hope this video made sense. If it did, or if it did not, please let us know in the comments. And also let us know what else you would like to hear about. Maybe a few very specific questions that you would like, maybe pointers on how to answer. Sometimes we take a bit of time to get back, but we're constantly trying to churn this out for you. So wait for us, but we'll be back with the answer. So let us know, and good luck. You have got it in you. Just have to sit down and sort of claw, sort of knock through the ice, and then you'll find that courage, and you'll find the capability inside. So get to that, and good luck. See you soon.